Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's the Jade Gemini. This evening I am super excited to bring you a overview of this. This is the Spyderco Q1 2025 product reveal catalog. Did one of these videos back in the past, had a lot of fun. You guys seem to enjoy it. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. It's January of 2025 if you're watching this, if you need to kind of figure that out. Before I get started, I'm just vehemently massive fan of Spyderco. They've kind of got me into the hobby itself as the first sort of premium knives that I ever bought with a PM2, paramilitary 2, kind of dreaming I'll never have a knife that cost $150. And now I'm, looking at Microtechs and stuff and Chris Reeves and crazy stuff. So absolutely love the brand. I think they're worth more than the sum of their parts and still some of the best out there. So we're going to talk about what I like, if any of the designs I kind of overall like, what I love, something really jumps off the pages at me, what I dislike, if anything, it just doesn't meet my taste. And if anything I feel is really wrong, I'll say that it's rubbish. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Okay, so welcome, just revealing some new edges, blah, blah, blah. And so we are starting out here with the Edrati, yeah. And so, yeah, what are we looking at here? Looks like we've got a shaman profile here, just exactly shaman, with the compression lock as well. But everything is skeletonized and gutted here in a way. Now, Spyderco, if you are new to them, they've kind of been doing this for a couple different years, kind of having these weird sort of skeletonized knives. They did it on the blades where you really couldn't like cut or use them too much. You can see pictures of the blades like fractured, but they're like spider webs around the holes and things. Now they've kind of like flipped that where they have it where it's ultra lightweight aluminum scales here with the shaman profile, so it's still going to be pretty useful. Maybe even give a little bit of grip. You've also got this sort of blade shape that reminds me of the Sketch a little bit, where it's straight on the top and then comes out with a little bit of a clip. Kind of also reminds me of like a more of a hunting style, like a Bowie, but without the curve here. Yeah, I mean, I feel like these would have been cool if these were like flagships made in America, milled titanium, magna cut, and made this like a high-end knife. Seems like they're taking a little bit in a different direction. It's S30V, which is okay, right? I would have maybe liked to see S45V in or something more modern if you're going with a modern take on this, but you've got the black. This is also aluminum, which I do love aluminum scales. But maybe a missed opportunity. I don't know if this is going to be a big seller, maybe, but I don't see the aftermarket really supporting this. This is the reason why you're buying this knife, is for the scale, if you like that. So you're probably not going to also see a big aftermarket on these as well. Kind of moving on, we are looking at some kind of interesting knives. You see it here with a cutting table and artisan looking stuff all around it. So it definitely seems like they're trying to show a gentlemanly, sort of European look. And that makes sense. These are actually made from lion steel here. So you got the slim, as I'm kind of reading that. And you've also got the Essenza, sorry. Something like that. But as you can see, you have the Fox logo here, and you have the lion steel logo here. So this is Maniago Knife Company's two sub-brands, right? So I think that's the real first thing that is to dislike here. Maniago, Italy, right? I would love to have an Italian, knife, that would be amazing in my collection. But the problem about Maniago is they've shown to do really subpar heat treats, and they're finishing like on their blade edges. You'll see that they'll come up, and when they get to the tip, they'll go curve and like curve all of a sudden. And there's just also the action's like gritty and sort of bumpy. yeah, I mean, these knives I feel like would be cooler. This one looks like it even has a little front flipper, and this little, sort of quake in with just the iconic spider hole. I feel like this one's actually kind of cooler in design. This just kind of feels like a titanium frame lock that you put a spider hole on, but it's kind of generic. This does also kind of look lion steely, right? Which definitely makes sense. Even has that one-sided clip with the spoonbill from Spyderco. So it is definitely a perfect blend between those two companies' DNAs. Yeah, I don't know. I think that these are going to be very niche and call out to maybe a certain folk group. I don't know if they're for me. Continuing forward now. Oh. Okay, so a lot on this page to like. Naturally, Pair 3 is, the GOAT, one of the greatest of all times, non-ironically, what I call the best folding knife for the money, where diminishing value starts to meet peak performance, is this knife. Instead of have a stealthy tactical one, definitely a big up, maybe even a little bit more corrosion resistance to make it the ultimate corrosion resistant knife with coated Magna Cut. So I love the Manix in every single way. The Manix lightweight. But this actually is something really exciting, right? You have the the Military 2, that is the compression lock version that you have fully blacked out, extra jimping on the scales, as you can see, with it being the Salt series. So basically it looks like this with this extra jimping here. And oh wait a minute, guys. All right, so this seems to be a full Manix, as a matter of fact here. Not a lightweight. So this is a different model. This being the lightweight, right, where it's impregnated FRN, that is the Volcano bi-directional texturing, absolutely amazing. Has the little jimping that are cast in, one solid piece of very, very solid, not bug out flexing amazingness, right? Lightweight. This is a Manix that they have taken G10 scales and milled out texture. It has the normal pocket clip. That is something else. Wow, okay. So that's definitely cool. Seems like they've added some extra jimping into the scales as well. Yeah, that's really cool. But anyways, back to what I was saying, that's definitely exciting. But this is also super exciting, because to me, this knife would always be one I wouldn't get, because I feel like this tip would be too fragile. So for me, not only is it cool, like, tactical operator coming out, having this big battle knife, I am a Navy SEAL, right? We all imagine, or in our childish minds, us being Arnold Schwarzenegger and hunting the predator out of the water with her Salt series 4+ inch blade. But in all realism, right, actually, if you had a big old folding knife like that, it would just be cool that it had extra toughness, being Magna Cut, basically almost stain-proof crew wear, right, which Magna Cut has been compared to. So this is actually something I really have my eyes on. That's really interesting. I really, really like that. Of course, love that. Like I said, Pair 3, absolutely one of the best knives of all time. This is in the Caribbean style of the original Salt Magna Cut. Easy. This would be great. Put some titanium scales in here. You have an ultimate knife, ultimate steel, titanium upgraded scales. What a great knife, right? If you like the satin. The Harpy is a classic. If you're thinking about I think it was the Harpy that was in where he has the mask on. I can't think of it right now. It's all during the time of The Shining and different things like that. Sorry. Bash me in the comments, my bad. But anyways, a classic knife, not really for me, and I don't really see that they're updating anything here. It's like VG10, but cool knife, definitely a Spyderco ism. Now this one is definitely insanely huge. Also, shout out there, very cool. The Sage series folder helps with the Alzheimer's. So I mean, the biggest up I could say. I mean, you couldn't find a bigger, great than that, love it than that. I mean, shout out to Spyderco. Excited about that before anything else. But when we're looking at the Sage is awesome. This is a button compression lock system here. So kind of off topic here, but this Martin Vosteed is a compression lock that you can see here. Fits into the back, and it has a button on the outside. So think of this as the original button compression lock from Spyderco, right? So you have a situation where the Sage series is iconically known for trying out all different locks, right? So you had a Sage that had a pin lock, where a pin would be shoved into the blade, a hardened round pin, bolt lock as they called it, was one. They had a back lock version that was very nice. I think it was wood, had a full smooth back, stainless steel system that curved around. They had a liner lock version. They had a Reeve integral lock version. Of course, they have the Sage 5, which I want to get one of those. Really been looking at one of those to bring a review to you, but that's a comp lock. And then this is the button lock, which comes on the Smock. So the Sage is all about being like a pair 3, but meets the iconic leaf-shaped blade in a little different ergonomics. As well as having a different lock with each number that goes up. So definitely awesome here. You've got this Slip It 2, which is interesting. It's a slip joint, basically using titanium, moves out of the way in a certain way to basically unlock the knife. It's a slip joint, so it's going to be legal in Europe, but be in M398. So not a tough steel at all, but a very high wear resistance stainless steel. So again, I think this would be actually a pretty decent knife. Again, if you're in Europe and you just opening the knife itself, cutting a box, closing it up. I think that this is kind of an interesting option if you want titanium, a high-end steel. Yeah, kind of interesting. I'm wondering if it's M398, if that means it is made in Montiago, Slip It, Italy. So it is. So something to keep in mind, like we were saying. Also, the Sage is made in Taiwan. I thought those were American-made knives. Might be wrong on that. Maybe they're all Taiwan. Anyways, now we're onto this page, and this is Sprint runs. So, not to be confused with a dealer exclusive, a Sprint run is a short run of knives that have a duration of time that they are going to make before they run out. Like this Big Brown Bear Pair 3 lightweight, which we'll come back to in just a second. But definitely some exciting things on this page. The first one is the classics, right? The Endura was the knife that my grandfather had, and I inherited when he unfortunately passed away a long time ago, right? But still, passed away, and I inherited his Endura, and that kind of started the journey with Spyderco and being like a sexy, rare, cool, high-end knife, right? So he had an Endura, and the Delica series is right there with it. So those are like the two quintessential, like when I think Spyderco, I think these knives, right? The Japanese-made ones. And so I'm super excited to see a knife steel I've really been wanting to get my paws on. Spy 27 coming to these. Generally, these come in VG10, which is a steel of a different era, right? Not bad, right? If you watch like Nut and Fancy's Leave It in the Snow videos, the corrosion resistance, you can strap it up. It just doesn't hold an edge. And with this, you're gonna have corrosion resistance, you're gonna strap it up, but you're gonna have toughness, you're gonna hold an edge longer, right? So it's exciting to have this option that isn't going to be so hyper limited, like a dealer exclusive, like going to Knife Joker and picking up a 20 CV or DLT exclusive 20 CV Delica or something, right? With this, you're just going to be able to have it. They're going to be shipped to all the different dealers: Blade HQ, DLT, Knife Works, Knife Ship Free, all the other ones, right? So this is exciting. Dragonfly, Delica, cute man bug. I wish the man bug and the ladybug They come out with a pocket clip version. I would honestly EDC that. Great little knives. I just wish they would get it together and get a pocket clip version instead of it being a keychain knife. I digress. So that's cool. We're on to this though. This is mega, mega exciting. So I've been carrying 15V, playing around with it. Review coming soon on the Para 3 lightweights. Look forward to that. But also to talk about the 15V. So I'm down here in Florida. I've put Corrosion X on this once. I've put it in my pocket. It hasn't gotten wet, hasn't rained, right? Anything like that. Don't touch it with wet hands, but it hasn't burst into rust. It's not like what you think M4, like, oh wow, I blew on it. It just rusted immediately. So I'm definitely opening it up to carbon tool steels. And so this is mega, god dang this action. This is mega exciting to see that the Big Brown Bear collab with this amazing heat treat. And this is like a Cedric and Ada, like 2000 cuts, you know, off the factory edge with the twisted sisal rope. This is an insane, insane high performance steel. So for an EDC, I'm just going to cut open an Amazon package. I'm just going to cut some tape, put it up. It's going to last for almost ever without needing to be sharpened. And so now we have it in the lightweight, bigger knife. So if you need a bigger knife like this, but with the best ergonomics on planet Earth, and that beautiful leaf-shaped blade that I love so much, you have it in the Manix lightweight coming. You have also the amazing Native, which I've had for a short time, the lightweight, great blade, smaller size if you want a controllable blade, same thing, coming in that amazing steel, and the Native 5 with the bulkier lockback, you know, great, great knife, a little bit more nice with the G10 scales, modifiable as well in the 15V. I just love seeing this, absolutely. The Big Brown Bear stuff, 100%. That continues as well with the Jumbo, the big old boy. This one is actually really, really cool. The Micro Jumbo, I feel like this is a perfect fit for the steel, a box cutter. You can just cut tape all day, all day, all day. And as long as you're just using it to cut, you're not using that tip, prying, anything like that, this is gonna hold an edge forever, but be a small little think box cutter, put it away. This is really exciting. You also have the Sage 6 and the S90V, which is a phenomenal legendary steel, and that pre-pregnated carbon fiber stuff, which is basically G10, just plastic G10, and then they laminate a sheet of carbon fiber over top of it, and then they texture it, put the texturing over that as well, and then you've got this sort of meh, right? I don't think a lot of people like this, but it's a Spyderco thing, Spyderco-ism, yeah. You've also got the sprint run of these pink breast cancer, so that's always like a maximum vote up as well. You know, addition, sort of really cool black and pink colorways on the Yojimbo. So imagine one of the most dangerous fighting knives coming out, bright Barbie pink. Pretty cool. And then the Micro Jimbo as well. I think this would be a cool knife, period, but also a cool knife for, you know, lady that maybe has those lady pockets, those tiny fifth pockets that are, you should be banned forever. You should just get normal pockets, but I digress. But yeah, this would fit that, so that would actually be a great knife for girls' pockets. Continuing, then you just kind of have some basic stuff here. You've got, I don't know what's going on here. Anywho, you've got just some swag, new shirts, swag, and yeah, that's it. So this is really short and sweet, not showing every single model ever, but just the new stuff. And I think that is just fantastic, right? I think they are definitely honing in, moving in the right direction. Really excited to see them come out with a Manix that is a non-lightweight. Love lightweight. I think I would pick it every time, but still I like the option. I really, really am actually interested in that military too in Magna Cut, the all black tacky boy. Really cool. Of course, the 15V, I think they just need to keep doing that. That is just an amazing steel. and definitely something that's linked to Spyderco in their sort of, again, heritage and story that they constantly are evolving. Again, I love to see their classic models put in a steel like Spy 27. I think of that steel maybe incorrectly, but kind of like a super 14C28, and it's extremely balanced, tough, stainless, can strap up, but it's going to hold an edge for a long time. So I'm really excited to see that stuff and some other cool, interesting, quirky stuff like Spyderco is also known for with some of the Maniago stuff and things like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not going to go on too much longer, but I love Spyderco here. They're amazing, make awesome knives. And so definitely look forward to going ahead and seeing and getting some of the stuff in the hand. Of course, review coming on the Para 3 Lightweight. Does it match up to the G10 Goat, as I said, or in an earlier video? We'll definitely have to see. But I can't thank you guys enough for taking time and watching this video, as there's so many great content creators you could be watching, and you've decided to watch my little channel over here. Of course, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, as I love fellowshipping with you guys. And if you like this kind of content, want to see more from pocket knives, EDC stuff, Spyderco especially, go ahead and like and subscribe, as it helps the channel and we're ever growing. Thank you so much for taking time and watching this video. I hope you stay safe and have a great rest of your week. Peace.